Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and today we're taking a look at Crossout's market system. Yeah, this is a very different video, and something I've been holding off on doing for a while until I fully understood it, to give you guys the best idea. So, right now, in fact what's prompted me to do this video, there's a lot of discussion going on about the durability system, and how the market system works, and how fair it is, and all of that. So I thought I'd weigh in on the situation and kind of give you an idea of how it all actually works. So I mentioned in the first impressions video that over here with the golden C next to it, that is the premium currency. That is the currency that is used when you spend money on the game. For example, you go to the store, there it is. This is the starter pack that I started off on this account with, but these are the others that you can buy. It goes up to $50 US and gives you 3,500 credits and a bunch of parts with it. So, if you've got the money to spend, that's one that's worth looking at. But that's only one way of getting the credits, and in fact, once the game is released, of course, there will probably be microtransactions that will let you get these for a certain premium value. But that's not the only way of getting these credits. So, if we drop over to the market here, and just sort by all rarities, we can actually see that you have a bunch of things here. So you've got how much an item is currently being sold for. So this heavy generator, if I wanted to buy this, the cheapest price I could buy it at, which is the one you automatically can buy it at, is 570 Cs. But at the moment there are buy orders in place. These are actual players' orders. So this is an entirely player-driven economy. So currently, the highest price that somebody is willing to buy this particular part for is 400, which is well below the asking price for a lot of the sellers. So now you might be thinking, in fact the sharper among you might have already worked this out, how you're going to actually go about doing this, but nevertheless I'm going to explain this. So we have the crafting system, and we're already aware that each faction has its own unique parts to craft. So we have a look at the engineers now. So this is the engineers' rare parts that you can craft. It includes things like the minivan cabin. So an item like this will require 150 scrap and 40 copper. So you can actually get this. If you have access to normal PvE, you can get copper in about 2 to 3 matches. That amount is easy to get. The scrap, on the other hand, might take up to 5 matches. And the reason you want to do that is so that you can craft all of these things. Now, when you craft it, bearing in mind the workbench will require rental, so we actually have a look at this. Don't have that one active at the moment, but you can actually see where it says it will build a certain number of parts. That's because you're spending this premium currency to rent the bench. But if you're selling these parts, it's going to pay for itself in the long run. So let's have a look back at the market again. So the easiest way to actually do this is to just sort by bought for. So you want to see what's the most expensive order you can possibly fill. Now, of course, unless you're a high-level player, both of the highest rarities are not going to be relevant at all. So we can deselect those there by just simply clicking them. And then we can see what's actually being bought at the moment. So truck cabins, this is the indestructible one. This is actually a rare drop that can't be crafted as far as I know. So this is completely out of the question. And as for dies, that's not something that's worth looking at because these are all random drops as well, but they do sell for a high amount. So if you do happen to get these, then look at selling them if that's not something you're into. Of course, gold is a very, very nice color that I'm sure a lot of people will be looking for. So if we go over to, right, armored track. So armored track or even medium machine guns. This is actually currently being sold for 405. Oh, sorry, being bought for 405. So we go back to the factions menu. This is actually an engineer's item right here. And this will require 180 scrap and 50 copper. It also requires 2 light machine guns and a medium wheel. So you can actually get all of this in approximately 3 PvE matches and maybe 6 to 10 PvP matches depending on how you go, but you will need to get these parts as well, and that requires the get the machine gun PvP and the get the wheels PvP, which will require level 7. So a lot of playing to do, but then again, if you played from the start and not crafted a single thing, you should have already gotten all these parts already. So that's something to bear in mind there. And medium machine guns don't take a long time to craft at all. This is currently only going to take 10 seconds, but I've noticed the time does tend to vary a little bit. So do check in once in a while to see how long things are going to take to craft. For example, the minivan cabin is going to take 35 minutes. So what we can then do is we can go and fill one of these orders. So right now there are 2 orders for a medium machine gun, and we can actually sell those. 405 credits, incidentally. If we fill both of those, we should have 810. And that will allow us to buy a truck cabin, an armored track. We can buy a turreted 76, or even if we go up a higher rarity and just have a look there. We sort by sold for and just scroll down a little bit. We can actually buy a fair amount of things. So, for example, a Wasp launcher is only 622, an attack drone. Some of these rare items that you wouldn't normally see, even explosive spears, these are actually sold for quite high amounts. So you can actually have a look at some of these as well and pick them up if you so choose. Some of the decor items are also sold for a much higher amount as well. So if this is something that you feel I guess you have to do, really, then by all means that would be the easiest way of doing it. In fact, if you have credits to spare, you could even buy and sell here and really play the market to kind of get the best deal. So that's really all it really is. It's as an economical game, or rather as much as it is a building and shooting game, it's also an economics game, and that's something to really look at. So I'm going to get on with the durability system as well and how this ties into it. So as we know, every part has a set durability. My poor truck cabin, which you've seen in many videos so far, only has 1 point of durability left. And when an item has no durability, it is not possible to sell it. So how do we repair things? Well, you notice this repair button up here. There are 2 ways we can do this. Now, I'm assuming this is a placeholder UI at the moment, so just ignore that for now. So durability transfer is something we can do. If we have parts available, we can actually repair them by transferring durability from one part to another. If we need to get whole parts, then that's going to be a little bit trickier. So getting an entire armored track requires 3 completely broken armored tracks, and at the moment I've got 2 of those, but I don't have 3. So this is why you'll be needing to trade those parts a lot, or even just trade for materials to go and craft them, simply because you are going to need to maintain those. Now, I do have some reservations about the actual repair system itself, but overall, at the moment, this seems like the only way to really do it. There used to be the option of repairing for scrap, but right now that's actually been removed, so I don't know exactly where they're going to go with that, but for now it looks like you will need to trade for parts in order to replace them on your vehicle. But no need to fear, though. If an item has no durability, it can still be used. For example, on this truck that I have right here, which is a sneak preview for an upcoming video, I have a 0 durability light engine, but however, if I put this on the vehicle, it will actually let me do it. Let's just remove that hatchet blade there. I can actually do that if I have the energy to. But what that will do is it'll give me the same effect, but it will be destroyed in a single hit. So you don't want to be using wheels, for example, that have no durability, or cabins especially. If a cabin has no durability at all, it will start the match with 1 HP, meaning a light breeze will probably kill you. So be aware of that sort of thing. So that's really it at the moment. I mean, we'll see how the game develops and how it progresses on, but right now this economy system is actually really interesting, and it's something that you really are going to have to play well if you want to get on in this game. So as fun as it can be, and I'm sorry this is such a serious video, but there will be more fun videos coming, I promise you. This is as dry as it possibly can be, but I feel that a lot of players getting into this game need to know what they're getting into. And it's not a bad system, it definitely could use some work, but just be aware that that currency will require you to play the trading game quite a bit. So a basic understanding of economics, i.e. buy low and sell high, will be your best friend there. But I hope this video has been informative and helpful. If it has, don't forget to leave a like. If you have any questions about this, because I'm sure many people will, it is a very confusing system when you first get into it. If you have any questions, please, please, please leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to try and answer them. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know how you're getting on in this game, if you're playing it, if you're not, and so on. But my name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.